you're interested in finding out how I live away from electricity and running water and things like that, then this is the video for you. Let's start off with the shower system. I have here a 5-gallon military style jug container. It can be pressurized. This is the lid. You can build these if you have the right parts, or you can just buy them from Amazon. Excuse me, this one actually I bought on eBay, but they're relatively easy to make, but they're also inexpensive, so I think they're about 10 bucks. Anyway, to take a shower, I painted these also with a flat black paint, spray paint, which heats it during the day, gives me a nice hot shower, about 85-90 degrees by the time it's around 5 p.m. So just stick it in like this, twist it up. Doesn't have to be too tight. Little extension of a garden hose. Shorter the better. You could also use a high pressure one like I have on my outdoor shower. The reason why I don't use the outdoor shower that much is because it doesn't heat up like this one. This one allows me to have a hot shower. But extension to one of these handles here. I'll include the links in the description below if you guys are interested. But this one's got multiple settings, one of them being shower and center. I use the center one because I prefer a stronger spray. But just connect the two ends to the valve. Lastly, you need yourself some kind of pump. I just use this Ryobi pump. It's battery operated, and it's also got a little readout right here, a digital readout. So I just it's a normal bike pump, tire pump, anything will fit. It's just a Schrader valve. So just put it in and start pumping away. I usually pump mine to about 7 psi, and it'll give a pretty strong jet. Take a look. So that's 7 psi right there. Take your hose, turn on the pump, or excuse me, open the valve. Not bad at all. That's in the center position. And let's see, let's find the shower. There's 7 psi, and here's the shower setting. Just fine. And of course, you want to use minimal water. It's the morning, so it's probably only about 70 degrees right now. And that's how I take showers when I'm on the road boondocking, away from campgrounds, and so on and so forth. So as you saw in the previous video, earlier on, I showed you roughly what I have as far as batteries. I have 2 Battleborn 100 amp hour batteries in my storage compartment here. Then I have 2 foldable suitcases. These are the Zamp 230 watt each solar panels. And then I have one that came with the Teardrop, and that's 100 watts. So I have total 560 watts of solar. So the way it works is the batteries power the Teardrop. Anything that's DC, all the USB ports and refrigerator, fan, etc. can be off of the battery, so it has to be DC. The way it works is that the solar charges the batteries, and the batteries power the camper. When I have no AC, just like in a standard household, you know, the receptacles, those are all AC, alternating current. I don't have that because the Teardrop does not come with an inverter. For that, I use a Bluetti solar generator, which I'll show you next. So when AC current is needed, certain appliances, things like, for instance, your laptop, like if you have an Apple laptop, they don't charge off of DC, so you need AC. So I have the Bluetti here, solar generator. It's a 2000 watt and 2000 watt hours solar generator. It's got 6, as you can see, AC ports, as well as a bunch of DC such as USB and so on. So you can charge your phone off of this, that's no problem. But I don't really use this to charge my phone too much because I just use the ports located within the Teardrop. Those are off the battery. So, you know, I use this, for instance, to, you know, plug in a laptop if it needs to be charged. It's like this, and just goes right to the laptop charger. On occasion, I get cold at night. Now the Teardrop does have a heater and an air conditioner in there, but those are AC, so they only work when I'm connected to shore power, 30 amp shore power. So like when I'm at a campground. For instance, I was just at Saguaro, and I stayed in a campground, and it was nice to have the 30 amp service. Although I never used I did use the heater one night, just briefly, mainly to test it, but I wasn't even that cold. Yeah, so when you have AC, you can use the heater and you can use the air conditioner, but no. So I use this little heater here. It's 200 watts. You plug it in, and this will heat the inside of that little Teardrop in no time. Uses very little power. So, you know, you're always thinking of lowest power usage to get the result you want. For instance, you can't find a heater less than 200. I made one. In fact, let me go get it for a second. So I made this little 100 watt heater. It's basically just a little heating element with a little computer fan and a cigarette lighter adapter. So DC. I just plug this inside and use it. This saved me in Knoxville. I used this in Knoxville. The solar generator was in the truck, and we were in the camper and we got cold. It was freezing. Remember in the video, if you saw it, check it out. Completely frosted in Knoxville. But so turn this on, little 100 watts, excuse me. Just heated us right up, took the edge off, and saved the day. Yeah, so when the Bluetti's not available, then this will work off the cigarette ports. In the they're just another name. It's a 12-volt port. It works off the batteries. But now I keep this inside near my bed, and this charges everything that I need. It's just so the way this is charged, when this gets low, when the Bluetti gets low, you can charge it. Guess what? Again, via cigarette port lighter. So a 12-volt adapter. Stick it inside, stick this into the side of the Bluetti, and it'll just charge right up. So the way it works, the whole thing, sun provides watts to the to the solar panels. The solar panels charge the batteries. The batteries provide electricity, direct current electricity, so DC power to all the cigarette lighters and all the 12-volt adapters and the USB ports and it also charges this the Blue Eddy. Once the Blue Eddy is charged, then I can use the AC ports here. And give you an example, on any given day I'll get to about 70% on my batteries, so 30% usage. By 10:30 a.m. everything is charged, so assuming that I have sunshine. So I can probably go 3 days without any sun at all and be just fine with the batteries and with the Blue Eddy. And let's say that it just rains for a week, no sun at all, then of course I have the gas powered generator inside the truck, and that I just plug right into the RV, into the main plug in the RV, and that'll just charge everything. It'll charge the batteries, it'll charge this, it'll charge everything. But it's loud, and I don't like noise, especially when I'm out here in the middle of nature. So that's how the electrical system kind of works. Hope you're not more confused than you were before, but that's it. Well, let's just get it over and done with. How do I go poop when I'm out here in the middle of nowhere? There's many different varieties that people use. I personally like the simplicity of the what's called the Luggable. You can buy this on Amazon, but or any RV shop. But it's a standard toilet lid that snaps into a 5-gallon bucket, and you know, when you have to go number 2, yeah, you just lift up the lid. This snaps in real tight. Okay, you have two. I use 2 bags, just regular bags. I think these are 8. I think there's 8-gallon bags in here. I double them up. I put one, and then I put another one inside that one. And so when I exchange it, I just take the inside one, throw it in the dump, and then put another bag in, and I'm good to go. Anyway, this slips on really tight. It's not going anywhere. And then the lid also snaps on, so it's on there. There's no smell whatsoever. It's just fantastic, and I never have to worry about emptying a black tank. Let's say if I had a black tank, so I had a toilet inside the Teardrop. On occasion, I'd have to go find a campground, pay money, hook up, all that stuff to just simply empty the black tank, the wastewater. But with this one, no problem. So anyway, sit down, do your business. What I do is I use these are pet bedding. They're pine wood. You get them at like any like a farm store. There's so many of them. And this will last, this will last probably 3 months or more of just constant boondocking. And you can go 10 days easily without exchanging the bag inside. Do your business, put a little bit. So what I do is I put a little bit, like maybe a half a handful at the bottom, and then do my business. Just use toilet paper. That's another thing. You can use good old-fashioned toilet paper, whereas in an RV you're constantly worried about, am I using too much toilet paper? Is it going to get stuck? And then it's a mess after that. So use as much toilet paper as you need, put it in, and then put another maybe half a handful of the hamster shavings right inside, and you're done. Boom, click, done. Till next time. And I really like this. The simplicity of it is just fantastic. I don't go number 1 in this because there's no need. Of course, females different, but it works just fine as well with number 1. So anyway, that's how I take care of business when I'm on the road. Let's quickly go over this little area here. This is the outdoor shower. So plug it in. This is the high pressure hose I was talking about. So you can actually use one of these for the jugs that I just showed you, that you can pressurize. This will give you a little bit stronger current, but I haven't needed it. I use this to wash off my feet quickly, you know, when I need it. I just, you know, and also Brady gets this, but honestly I don't really use it because I'd rather use my freshwater tank system, which I do have, which is only 8 gallons for the kitchen. So I don't really use this. I use the jugs for mainly, but it's here. It's pretty cool to have. So that's the outdoor shower. This here is where I fill up my fresh water. So there's a gravity one, which is what I use because don't have usually a spigot somewhere like at a campground where I can just hook it up and fill it right up. So what I do is, remember what I showed you about pressurizing the 2 jugs? So I pressurize the jugs, put a hose, connect the hose, just put a hose right in this hole right here and fill it up. And when it starts coming out, that's when I know it's when it's full. This other connection here is for the city water connection. So when it's pressurized, you connect it in here. It's just a different pipe that goes down that can withstand pressure. But I haven't used it, to be honest. This here is the 30 amp plug. So this will connect to the shore power that I keep mentioning. Like at a campground, when you have a pedestal, you connect your power in there, and then the other end goes in here, and then you got your whole RV is working. Everything, AC, DC, doesn't matter. So you're not using your batteries at all. This one is, again, when you're at a campground or when you want to connect an antenna, you can also connect it right here. But this will give you television, etc. And haven't used it. I'm honestly, I never watched TV when I was in Virginia, and I don't plan on starting now either. But this is comes standard. All this comes standard on the New Camp Teardrop. That's it. So here's my sink. I use it mainly for dishes. I mean, I don't really need it. I could use the jugs to spray spray and clean the dishes, but I do like to have the dishes in here. When I'm done, I just put them in, put a little water on them, and just let them sit. But it's pretty neat. So you got your pump here. So this operates off of the freshwater tank that's underneath, and it operates just like a kitchen faucet. So you turn it on, you got water, you know, potable water, like where I am now in the middle of nowhere. This is called Giant Rock in Landers, California. It's right near Joshua Tree. Love this place, but there's nothing. It's BLM land, and you're on your own out here. So you need to be real careful on how much water you use, because the nearest fillable place is far away, and it may or may not be available. So, you know, potable water is the #1 thing that is essential. Gotta have it. What else? Yeah, there's some, I don't know if the sun will allow you to see it, but there's an LED strip through here. And there's also another light up here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Pretty cool at night, lights it up. The stove, so this actually I made the other day when I was in Yuma. It's very windy out there in the desert, so I was having a hard time keeping these lit. And so I just went to Home Depot, bought 2 pieces of aluminum, bent them, cut them, and riveted them together. And now it just slides right in here. It looks like it came out pretty well. It just slides in here, and it keeps the wind now from turning off my gas stove. The microwave, as far as I'm concerned, the microwave is just a complete and total waste of space. In fact, that may be up for a remodeling job. I'd rather have a freezer or something else, cabinetry, anything, because I just don't use microwaves. There's no need for them. And also the microwave only operates off of AC. So when I'm boondocking, it's completely useless to me, and just wasted space. I have vegetables in there, potatoes, rice, etc. That's what's in there now. And my fridge is beautiful. You guys know, remember when I did the when I took out the cooler and put a real fridge in. So for internet, I use a WeBoost, and whenever I have like 1 bar, it upgrades it to 2 or 3, sometimes even 4 bars. Like here, I have 1 bar, and when I turn on the WeBoost, it gives me 4 bars. So this is fantastic. It's usually, the difference usually is not that great. Usually it goes from 1 bar to 2, sometimes 3, or from 2 to 3. But that's a game changer when you're on the internet. It allows you to work, like upload, download videos, and so on and so forth, like I need. That's a game changer. It's just an inside antenna that connects to an outside antenna, and that's it. I have a DC. It plugs into DC. Run a cable up to the outside antenna. It's a little antenna. You can use the big one. I just use the little antenna because it's easier, and mine is not static. It's magnetized, so I take it down every time I travel. That way it keeps me from drilling a hole to run the wire. So I do recommend the WeBoost. I've actually been stopped quite a few times and been asked, they see the antenna going, and if it was worth it. My answer is yes, it is. Again, I'll include the link in the description below. But that's it.